Hello, and welcome to this introductory tutorial for the Dunedin Ice Hockey Association's Clubhub page. Today, we'll be looking at navigating your way to the registration page, signing into Clubhub, registering as a midget or senior or social player, joining leagues and practices, and finishing up with organizing a payment. I'm going to try to power through this and then post a more in-depth video for those that are still struggling. Firstly, you want to open a web browser. I'm using Google Chrome. And I have a Dunedin Ice Hockey page already open, but you'll want to make your way there. DunedinIceHockey.co.nz. From that page, click on Clubhub login or registration. Either one doesn't really matter. If you click on registration, click on Clubhub afterwards, and it takes you to the same page as the Clubhub login does. If you can't remember your details or are unsure if you remember before, click on Login. You obviously won't know your username or password, so click on I've forgotten, enter in your email address, and hit send me an email. That's going to tell you that you're not in the system, or it'll send an email with your login details and a new password. Obviously, if you do know your username and password, enter that in now, and you'll be able to skip ahead to the next step. We're going to assume you haven't been a member before, so we're going to click on Register a Player. If you were previously a member and this is your first time logging in, all these fields will currently be filled in. And I've actually done one of these earlier today, so I'm just going to pull that across and show you, just in the interest of saving time. Please use your real name, have a password that you'll be able to remember, and I've only filled in the necessary fields, but it's handy for us to have that extra information. So when you're filling it in, be as in-depth as you like. One quick point, this preferred position, this is a handy tool when Drew is organizing the teams to make sure that there's a nice balance and one team isn't just flooded with people that only want to play forward. So make sure you're making your selection there as well. At the bottom of this page, you'll notice the DIHA Code of Conduct. I'm not going to go into that at the moment, nice and short, but I'll sum that up for you. 3 really quick points really. Don't be a dick, have fun, and be aware of others on the ice and take care of their safety as well as your own. I'm going to click continue to jump to the next page. The options you have here will be dependent on what your age was that you entered in that previous page. I have 2 options showing, social or senior. Social members are for people playing within Dunedin only, so that's Dunedin club games, Dunedin practices, whereas Dunedin senior or the midget option, depending on how old you are, is for people playing within the southern region or playing a rep team like the Dunedin Thunder. If you're new to Clubhub, you're probably just going to be a social member. But one quick point is the Erwin Cup, which is a great trophy played for every year. You need to be a senior member, not a social member, if you want to be playing in that. We have confirmation of the details that we've entered in so far. I'm going to click continue from there because that all looks good to me. Chrome's just asking me to be sure. If you were a family and you wanted to be putting in another family member, you can click there and have them all under your same login details. If you'd like to volunteer to help out at the club, please feel free to tick any of these roles you'd like to take part in, as well as filling in any qualifications or previous experience you have in such a role. From there we have our Make a Purchase page. This is where you'll end up selecting what leagues you like to play in, what practices, and also some other club purchasing options. The products listed here will change throughout the year. As you can see, we currently have the Autumn and Winter Dill, as well as the Winter Dill team practices. Adult beginner practices will open up on there, Prem practices as they end up becoming available, and any future power skating things will as well. in the interest of good organization, it's always better to register for things early rather than later, as that gives the club organizers a better idea of how many numbers they're going to be having involved. To show you an example, I'm just going to click on Autumn Dill for now, and click Continue. On this next page, we end up seeing a breakdown of everything that I have selected so far. So I've got my social membership fee, my Autumn Dill fee, which totals to $130. If I realize that I'm missing something, or maybe I didn't actually want to register in the Autumn Dill, that was a mistake, I can click back to edit my details, jump forward to the page, and reselect what options I was after. While we're here, before February 29th, Dunedin Ice Hockey Association members have access to a pretty great deal. 12 games of the Dunedin Thunder for just $100. That's a little over $8 a game. Fantastic deal, and these are limited and bound to be snapped up quickly, so I'd highly recommend grabbing one of those. If you're a child who's registered and are under 10, you get access to that for free. To let the club know how many children are likely to be coming along, though, it is a good idea to actually click to let us know how many children you've got. Going through to continue, you end up seeing the updated list. And from here, I can click Confirm Registration, and that will send my details through, and from there, I'd be looking at making a payment. Now, I don't want to clog the system with random new users, so I'm actually going to cancel my registration and log back in as myself. Good idea pointing out now, when you do register, your username isn't your actual email address. You'll receive an email with the username attached to it. You're able to change that to anything you like later on, but a common thing that has people forgetting how to log in is forgetting what their username is as well as their password. Here we can see everything that I am registered for, and I can click to make a payment. Before I do that, though, let's imagine that I couldn't remember, or I decided rather, that there was something that I wanted to sign up for that I haven't yet. To do that, we're going to go to Tasks, Purchases and Bookings, and click on that. From there, we're able to see the things that I'm currently registered for, and it's impossible for me to sign back up for those. In contrast to the first time you're signing up, as soon as I hit continue, whatever I have selected is going to be locked in. So if you make a mistake and you log in for something that you don't want to actually be grabbing, you're going to need to send an email through to Jody to get that corrected. I'm going to skip from there and go to making a payment. Pretty much everything you're going to do is under this taskbar. We can see everything I'm signed up for, space for an optional donation, and the currently owed amount. Clicking on continue, we can see that we can make a payment by internet banking, cash, or check. Clicking on make a payment one more time shows us our total amount once again, the DIHA's bank account details, what we need to enter in as the payee, as well as our personal account identifier. Whenever you're putting anything through on internet banking, please make sure that you're putting through your number. Otherwise, it is a nightmare for us to track down whose money the payment belongs to. If you're not comfortable with internet banking, you can also pay by check, or if you must, cash is also available. You'll want to get in touch with Jody about that. That's everything there, guys. You've now successfully registered for Clubhub, signed up for the events you wanted to, and have started to organize your payment. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Patrick Kane, nifty move, he's in for a chance. He scores! What a goal by Patrick Kane!
And watch the goal scorer's goal here. From the right foot to the stick, and just hold it and then right back through. Visions of last year's Game 6 in Chicago.
As Patrick Kane last night celebrating the goal that essentially finished the Canucks off, and the celebration that inspired this, today's SportsCenter Top 10.
Green centers Palffy. Palffy is shot by the side. He scores! You just see it, Kiss. Gretzky looking. Gary Curry, Detroit.